start events. We start with opening flag ceremony, and so to conduct today's opening flag ceremony, I'd like to call on Andrew Eagle, Troop 179 Senior Patrol Leader, and will you all please rise and remain standing for the presentation of colors. Mr. Eagle.
Troop, attention. Color guard, attention. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, very close to colors. Troop, right hand salute. Please join me in pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Color guard, close to colors. Please join me in the scout oath of law. On my honor.
I will do my best to do my duty, to guide my country, to obey the scout law, to help other people at all times, keeping myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
As an American.
I will do my best.
Careful with fire.
Consider it the outdoors and be conservation minded.
2. Color guard, turn to right. Ready? And color guard, forward march. Color guard, halt. Butt face ready. And color guard leaves.
Thank you, Mr. Eagle. Ladies and gentlemen, you can be seated. And if the honor guard would escort parents of the Eagle Scout candidate. Thank you, Mr. Eagles, and our honor guard today. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Scouts and Scouters, family and friends, good afternoon. My name is Jason Pernick. At Troop 179's annual summer camp, I am the representative of the International Commissary Commission, which, as every veteran of summer camp knows, is located at
Geneva, Switzerland.
You better believe it, Geneva, Switzerland. I also serve as the Troop Advancement Chair, and in that capacity, I am privileged to work with Scouts as they advance through the ranks. Among the most rewarding aspects of my involvement with the troop is an opportunity to serve on Eagle Scout boards of review. It is there that I have an opportunity to meet with and listen to young men and women discuss their futures, recognizing that they are on the verge of being adults. Some of them look a little nervous. Having achieved the pinnacle of scouting, these Eagle Scouts are preparing to go out into the world, the next generation of citizens who must take up the mantle of what it means to be an American. When the board has satisfied itself that the candidate has met all the requirements for the rank, the board certifies that the Scout is now qualified to be and has earned the rank of Eagle Scout. A happy occasion to be sure, but there is something else at work, something other than just checking a box and signing off an application. We want each Scout to take away from the Board of Review an understanding of what being an Eagle Scout means in their lives and in the life of our country. Our nation needs men and women who can step up and do what needs to be done. Maybe more so than at any time in the last 150 years. We must have those who can lead, who can follow, who can teach, who can serve, who can do. The Eagle Board of Review is a last step in a long and arduous journey, a journey which is meant to instill in a young person the skills, the ethics, the values, which will serve best that person on their journey into the future. During an Eagle Board of Review, candidates discuss their scouting journey with a panel of adults. We talk about what they learned in scouting and ask them to consider what they are going to do with those skills. Many of the Eagle candidates have some idea what they plan to do as they graduate from the program. Some have no idea. And we adults know that it's not uncommon for young people, having once decided on some course of action or another, to find a new or different way to go. Knowing that there's a world of opportunity ahead of them, we on the board try to leave them with something that will be a kind of all-encompassing answer. We ask them what the rank of Eagle Scout says about them. We want to lead them to one conclusion: easy to remember, easy to understand, easy to express, useful in a job interview, or in any other situation which is necessary to sum up one's value. We want them to know this about themselves, that being an Eagle Scout means you are a person who can get things done. And if you need to sum up what you can do as an Eagle Scout, we want them to remember that being an Eagle Scout means you are a person who can get things done. We are here today to recognize a singular achievement in the life of a Scout, the pinnacle of Scouting, the award of the rank of Eagle Scout to Edison Imel. Edison joins 254 other Scouts who, since 1972, have earned the rank of Eagle Scout as members of Troop 179. 255 men and women who can get things done. And now, moving along in our program, I'd like to introduce the woman who taught Brian Ulmer how to flip pancakes. Troop 179 Assistant Scoutmaster Dawn Downs to introduce our Eagle Scout.
Thank you for that riveting introduction, I just appreciate it. All right, so I was given the honor to introduce our Eagle Scout tonight. Edison started his scouting journey as a Cub Scout in Peck 321 and actually finished in Peck 231. Edison enjoyed many adventures that he went on with his dads and earned his Arrow of Light before crossing over to become a Boy Scout in Troop 179, starting new adventures, advancing through ranks, earning merit badges, and earning his Eagle Scout, which is why we're all here today. Looking at him now, you would never know that he was one of the smallest Scouts that came into the troop that year. He was tiny. What he lacked in height, he made up with personality, spirit, pure determination, and the gift of gab. Those who have spent any amount of time with Edison knows that he likes to talk a lot. Stories coming back from his Philmont trek were that if he was not sleeping, he was talking. Edison's quick wit and rapid comebacks have occasionally got him in and sometimes out of trouble. And no matter how bad, ridiculous, or far-fetched an idea was, he'd usually find a way to successfully sell it. During his time with Troop 179, Edison has held a variety of leadership positions. He served as patrol quartermaster, patrol scribe, and patrol leader. He also served as a troop guide, a troop instructor, and an assistant senior patrol leader in the New Scout program, and is currently the vice president in the venturing crew. He's earned 32 merit badges, performed about 50 hours of community service, and 120 nights of camping with the troop. He has gone to Philmont Scout Ranch in New Mexico and hiked the Rocky Mountains, attended the National Jamboree in West Virginia atop the Smoky Mountains. He's done the Jeep Pontiac Trail. And let's see, and outside of scouting, Edison is in cross country and track and is involved with his school orchestra. He has spent the last 2 years as a lifeguard at the community center here in Farmington and has plans to attend college to become a civil engineer. Edison did his Eagle project at Heritage Park, where he led a group of 9 scouts installing 160 feet of split rail fence in the 4 fundamental learning areas of the Nature Discovery Trail. If you find yourself enjoying Heritage Park, take a moment to check it out. And that's what brings us here today, where we've all gathered to celebrate Edison's dedication to himself and to his fellow scouts and to his community and present his Eagle Scout Award. Ladies and gentlemen, Edison Leroy Imel, Troop 179's 254th Eagle. That works? All right.
Thank you. Dawn and I were just having a moment's discussion here, how to count to 255. I guess that's why I'm a lawyer and not any good at math, because I can't count to 255. Next on our agenda is the investiture of the Eagle Scout, and now I'd like to call on the woman who simultaneously reinforced why it's not a good idea for scouts to run around camp in the dark, and the location of the nearest hospital emergency room, Troop 179 Assistant Scoutmaster Connie Nye.
Well, it actually might not have been me that taught them not to run around in the dark. It might have been, you know, the 4 stitches that Mark's cheek imposed upon Francisco's forehead. That could have been more of a reinforcement than anything else. This is the first time I've gotten to do this, and I'm very, very proud and excited. Congratulations, Edison. I know how hard you worked to get here. But I'm going to tell everybody a little bit about what you need to do to get here, right? To become an Eagle Scout, you've been tested in every area of scouting. Through the ranks of Scout, Tenderfoot, Second Class, and First Class, you were required to learn scouting skills. You tied knots, found your way with a compass, most of the time. Learn to cook, not bad actually. Learn to camp, learn to care for yourself and others, which sometimes meant washing mounds of dirty dishes that weren't even yours. Upon gaining the First Class rank, you were ready to enter the next phase of scouting, which was learning servant leadership. You earned the Star in Life ranks by earning merit badges, successfully completing leadership positions in the troop, which is a testament to so much more than just showing up. And you gave service to your community. After earning the Life rank, you were fully trained for the challenges that scouting presented, the Eagle Scout requirements. Requirement 1 challenged you to remain active in scouting, which you are still doing. Both your mom and I appreciated you stepping in to help us with PAC 45 just last week. Requirement 2 challenged you to continue to live by the principles of the oath and law. To prove that you were required you were required to obtain letters from individuals who know you personally and be willing to attest to your conduct and character as a scout. Requirement 3 challenged you to earn 21 merit badges, 11 of them required and 10 electives. For each of these merit badges, you were required to select and meet with a council approved by the Boy Scouts of America and satisfy them that you were knowledgeable in the requirements. Requirement 4 challenged you to prove your abilities as a leader, without question, the hardest requirement of all. You had to secure positions in the troop and be responsible to complete the requirements of that position. You were pushed to be the best leader and meet a standard set by those who held it before you. Requirement 5 challenged you to plan and develop and give leadership to others in a service project that gave benefit to the community. This project had to be approved by your Scoutmaster, the Troop Committee, and the Michigan Crossroads Council. Requirement 6 challenged you to reflect on your future and write a statement that listed your ambitions and life purpose. You presented this plan to your Scoutmaster, who reviewed it with you and determined if you were fully ready to become an Eagle Scout. Upon completion of these requirements, you came to the final step of your scouting trail, the Board of Review. Your Troop Committee conducted this board with a representative from the Michigan Crossroads Council in attendance. They reviewed all the requirements to ensure that you have met every challenge from Scout to Eagle Scout. At the end of this board of review, your Troop Committee and the Michigan Crossroads Council forwarded your application to the National Council of the Boy Scouts of America, requesting a review of your application for approval of you as an Eagle Scout. Joe Biden, President of the United States, and Roger Mosby, the Chief Scout of the Boy Scouts of America, signed the application of Edison Imel, officially making him an Eagle Scout.
Thank you, Connie. For every 100 youth that join Scouting, 12 will receive their first time religious contact. 5 will receive a religious emblem. 2 will enter the clergy. 18 will develop hobbies that last a lifetime. 8 will enter a career based on merit badge work. 17 will become scout volunteers. 1 will use their scouting skills to save the life of another. 1 will use their scouting skills to save their own life. 28 will continue lifelong hobbies developed in scouting. And 3 will attain the rank of Eagle. Next on our agenda is a Troop 179 tradition, the presentation of a Eagle Scout belt buckle. And to present Edison Imel with the Eagle Scout belt buckle, the man who taught Brian Budgery how to be happy on a camp-out Sunday morning, Brian Ulmer, Eagle Scout and Troop 179 Assistant Scoutmaster.
Hello, my name is Brian Ulmer. I'm the leader of the adult patrol, the GO Patrol in Troop 179. A highly prized trophy for the scouts and adults that complete a high adventure backpacking trek at Philmont Scout Ranch, like Edison did, in Cimarron, New Mexico, is the classic bronze belt buckle. So once you're done, you can go in and get your belt buckle and show that you've done it. For Troop 179's 50th anniversary in 2016, we commissioned custom belt buckles from Norman Cutliff, a New Mexico Eagle Scout that makes the official Philmont belt buckles. Like the traditional Philmont buckles, the official troop buckle has a bronze finish and is available to anyone. Like the Olympic Games, there's a hierarchy of medal colors in Boy Scouts. However, unlike the Games, the order in Scouts goes bronze, gold, and then the highest being silver, the most honored medal color in Scouts. This is why the medallions of the Eagle Scout and Summit Award are silver. In this tradition, we made a special run of troop buckles in a pewter silver finish exclusively for Scouts that have earned Eagle Scout rank in Troop 179 or the Summit Award in Venturing Career 179. I am honored to present this special item of recognition that is unique to our troop and crew. No other units have an award like this. This program was envisioned to be self-funded using no troop funds, where the sales of the bronze buckles to Scouts and family members would cover the cost of the buckles that are gifted to these future Eagle Scouts. However, these are not exclusively uniform items, but rather a stylish fashion accessory that will complement any clothing anytime. With that in mind, I ask you that you please consider buying a buckle to enable the continuation of this worthwhile program. Mr. Norman Cutliff, who manufactures the buckles, has been so pleased with our Eagle Scout buckle program that he even donated some of them to show his support. You can see Mr. Schultz at a troop meeting if you're interested in buying a buckle to help support this worthwhile program. Today, I present a silver buckled Edison with the intent that he wears it proudly for the rest of his life. The fashionable item is for all occasions, not just when wearing your Scout uniform. Each buckle is stamped on the back with a number representing the sequential number of his Eagle Scout Award in our troop, number 254. Congratulations.
Right. Since 1912, since the Boy Scouts awarded its first Eagle to Alfred Eldred, Scouts of all walks in life have achieved this accomplishment. 70% of Scouting's alumni is made up of military graduates. 72% are Road Scholars. 85% are FBI agents. 65% are college graduates. 65% of the members of Congress are Scout alumni. 70% of college football captains are Scout alumni. 26 of the first 29 astronauts were Boy Scouts, including Neil Armstrong, Eagle Scout. 11 of the 12 men who walked on the moon were Boy Scouts. Next on our agenda is the Charge to the Eagle. And to present the Charge to the Eagle, one of the first men in Scouting who taught us that daughters are just as good at being Eagle Scouts as our sons, Mr. Scott Waldron, Eagle Scout and Troop 179 Assistant Scout.
If I could ask all the Eagle Scouts we have in the audience to please stand and come forward. Wow. We have more to, oh, you're getting a little bit. I'm back here. If you could face Edison, if you could please stand. I have the honor to give you the Eagle Scout Charge on the occasion of your elevation to the highest award in Scouting. The Scouts of all nations constitute of one of the most wholesome and significant movements in the world history. You have been judged by the Boy Scouts of America as being worthy of this honor, and who know you rejoice in your achievement. Your position as well, is one of honor and responsibility. You are a marked person. As an Eagle Scout, you have assumed a solemn obligation to your duty to God, to country, and to fellow Scouts, and to humankind in general. This is a great undertaking. As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and to Scouts everywhere. America has many good things to give you and your children after you, but these good things depend on the most part of the quality of its citizens. Our country has made a great past. You can help make the future even greater. I charge you to undertake your citizenship with a solemn dedication. Be a leader, but lead only toward the best. Lift up every task you do and every office you hold to the highest level of service to God and to your country. So live and serve those who know you will be inspired by your finer living. We have too many who use their strength and their brains to exploit others and to gain selfish ends. I charge you to be among those who dedicate their skills and ability to the common good. Build America on a solid foundation of clean living, honest work, and unselfish citizenship, and God and reverence for God. And whatever you do, leave behind you a record of every Scout that may be justly proud. Scouts, you will rededicate yourself by repeating the Scout oath. Repeat it slowly as you stand before your fellow Eagle Scouts. Resolve to uphold forever its principles with the same ambition and perseverance that have brought you this far. May I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight, too. Your conduct along the trail has been excellent. You have rededicated yourself to the principles of Scouting. But one more thing is important, your future. As an Eagle Scout, you become a guide to other Scouts. Become an example in the community. Remember that your actions are now a little bit more conspicuous and people will expect you to do more. To falter in your responsibility will reflect not only on you, but also on your fellow Eagle Scouts and all of Scouting. The torch you carry is not only yours, but also ours. Thank you. You may have a seat.
Thank you, Scott. A moment ago, I mentioned Neil Armstrong, Eagle Scout, first man to walk on the moon, and he is as famous as he is not alone in the honor roll of Eagle Scouts, now including our latest Edison. Other famous Eagle Scouts include Gerald Ford, 38th President of the United States and native of Michigan. Steven Spielberg, film director and producer. Robert Gates, Secretary of Defense, Director of the CIA, and former President of Scouting. Mike Rowe, star of the TV show Dirty Jobs. Hank Aaron, Baseball Hall of Fame member. Steve Young, San Francisco 49er quarterback, and of course, Colonel Armstrong. Next is the presentation of the Eagle rank, and our Scoutmaster Chuck Williams is under the weather today, not able to be here this afternoon, and so we called on another Eagle Scout. But it occurs to me that of all the adults in the program, you hear them referred to as Mr. This or Miss That or Miss or Mrs. There's only one adult in the program who I hear referred to and who is referred to by their first name, and that's Chuck. And now 3 generations of Scouts will remember that their master, their Scoutmaster, was Chuck. So to present our Eagle rank today, I'd like to call on Eagle Scout and Troop 179 Assistant Scoutmaster, and the Ely who this spring did not have sore feet and worn down hiking boots, Mr. Chris Ely. Chris?
I had the pleasure of working with Edison on the Scout program. He was a troop guide. Edison, congratulations. All right, parents, it's really time. Please come forward. Yes, and please stand. This is the official Eagle Scout medallion. Eagle Scout. Yeah. The Boy Scouts of America is proud to award the rank of Eagle Scout to Edison Leroy Imel, Troop 179, Farmington Hills, Michigan, in recognition of the successful completion of all requirements for Scouting's highest rank. Now I'll present this to Troop 179's latest Eagle Scout.
give me great pleasure to call on Troop 179's newest Eagle Scout to demonstrate that scouting today is alive and well, flourishing and strong.
I'd like to begin by thanking you all for being here. It means so much to me. In 2012, many important things were happening. There was a presidential election, but I was too young to vote or mind. The stock market was back on the rise, but I was too young to own stock or care. What mattered to me was a once-a-week meeting that, unbeknownst to me, would fundamentally change who I was as a person. I started Cub Scouts when I was in first grade. Cub Scouts acted as my introduction to scouting and got me prepared for what would truly change me, Boy Scouts. It was here that I truly thrived, learning the vast array of scout skills from knot tying and first aid to more complex things like leadership, problem solving, and communication. Scouting acted as a practical application of these skills, forcing me to address and improve on them. It was the latter of these skills that ended up helping me most in life. One of the events that helped change me was my Order of the Year ordeal. I expected the ordeal to be a bland meeting about leadership with an over-top ceremony at the end. Instead, it was a day of service in the hot sun and a small ceremony at night. I remember thinking that it was just a day of free labor for DBRA, with us not being allowed to talk as a strange test. But looking back on it, I see that it was about one of the core tenets of scouting, accepting responsibility and handling it to the best of your abilities. Once I realized this, I felt myself improve as a patrol leader, actually leading my patrol instead of just barking orders. Shortly before entering high school, I volunteered to be a part of my troop's New Scout program. During this time, my patience was put to the test, as you could have guessed, as 11-year-olds tend to act like 11-year-olds. I stayed in the New Scout program for over a year and a half before being promoted to ASPL. This was, as expected, more difficult, as I now had 2 more scouts to manage, but I handled it well. This was because I again tended to rely on servant leadership. For example, whenever there was something that had to be done that no one liked, such as washing dishes, I made sure that I was one of the first ones cleaning so that to get others to join in. This helped me keep everyone on track as well as ensuring we got things done on time. This mindset of leading by example is one I carried with me, as it's very useful for when a team doesn't exactly work well together. The last big thing from scouting to change me was doing my Eagle Project. The Eagle Project is the capstone of someone's service as a scout, meant to put their leadership skills to the test. My project was building 160 feet of split rail fence. 160 feet of split rail fence for Heritage Park. I planned out the project over the course of several weeks, communicating with those in charge of the park, learning the intricacies of leading my own project, and convincing other scouts to volunteer. In the end, I had 8 or 9 scouts helping with that project. Because of this, I had to deal with a new challenge: too many people. I learned how to keep people on track, and by the end of the project, I had conquered both the fence and this skill. The goal of this speech isn't to get you into joining Scouts. You're already here. My goal here is to thank those who've helped me get this far. For Mr. Hansen and Mr. Peters for getting me through my New Scout year, through Mr. Maliso and Mr. Yuli, now with Mrs. Nye, as well as all those who will tell me throughout, such as Miss Dowds, Mrs. Hooker, and of course, Mr. Williams. The only thing I can say to all of you is thank you. Thank you for what you've done for me and this troop. I'd also like to thank my parents for supporting me through everything, as well as giving me the opportunity to go to both Philmont, Jamboree, and Philmont again. Whenever I'm put in charge of something, there's always a chance that I'll hear the term natural leader thrown around by adults. While I appreciate the compliment, I don't think of my leadership abilities as being something I was born with. Instead, it was something cultivated over years of trial and error, all made possible because 6-year-old me wanted to go to a once-a-week meeting. Thank you.
Very well done, very nicely done. Well, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, Scouts and Scouters, we've reached the end of our program. We have a brand new Eagle Scout. We can turn the spotlight off of him. I'm sure he'll feel better about that. Mike and Rachel have invited us to step across the hall to enjoy some fellowship, to congratulate Edison. Be sure and stop and take a look at the display. You'll see this history of his achievements from when he was only that high to now that he's that high. So I declare this court of honor closed. Please join us across the hall.